What up, party people? It's been a while, but I'm back. Got to talk about why I haven't been around. Want to share with my people. Hope you guys are out here with me. Get a little serious right here. So, what's up, Devin? I see you've been doing your thing, man. You got a great comeback coming back, man. I'm excited. What's up, Donna? But it's gonna be alright. Welcome back, welcome back. Yo, if you're coming here live, let me get a little live. If you're catching the replay, let me get a replay. I want to hear where you're coming in from. You might want to share this with a lot of people because this is something serious right here. Motions create emotions, man, so I got to get a little warmed up here with you guys. It's been a while. Great topic to come back with. We got to dance it out. Here we go. What's up, Dad? Bobblehead is in the house. You don't have a bobblehead. You don't have a bobblehead. I got a bobblehead. Come on, y'all. Where have I been and why have I been away? I've been thinking about that for a long time. Then I watched this video today and boom, it was like, whoa, that's what's been happening to me. Victor Glad Alicea in the house. Wanted to share some good things with you guys, man. Maybe something for you to think about as well. I'm gonna cut it short right here just to get started with my people who haven't been on here for a while. I am Victor Glide Alicea. I'm coming to you live, trying to talk to you, bring some knowledge and some awareness to people out here. And I hope that you guys get, some great information and something that might help you out, or if you know somebody out there you want to share with other people. But here it is, man. I want to talk to you. Where have I been? I had to disconnect in order to correct myself again. All the anger, all the bitterness, it was a little overwhelming for me. I didn't even realize it, man. And it's because, the first thing that I would do every single morning, man, would wake up to Facebook, wake up to Instagram. The average person goes on Facebook or Instagram 150 times a day. Let's just think about that. The first thing in the morning that wakes you up is a ping, somebody posting something or responding to you. And I just want to bring to your attention, we have 4 primary brainwave states, right? The first one is beta. That's when right now, you and I are in beta, we're awake, we're like cognizant, we're like ready, we're like listening, we're awoke, right? And then the next one is delta, and that's when we're fast asleep, But the 2 important ones are theta and alpha. That's where we learn a lot. That's where the theta is the one where your creativity comes, right? It's when you're in and out of sleep. Now let's think about that. When you're in and out of sleep, you're constantly like dreaming and thinking big and going beyond, right? Another place where we do that is in the shower. When you're in the shower, the water hitting you, all of a sudden you start, you start singing better, you start creating in the shower, and that's a great state. But the most important one is alpha. That is a state of learning. That's the accelerated learning that we have. So it's like meditation, like focusing, and absorbing information, and here, what's an alpha form of state too is TV. And I get crazy and lost in TV because I'm focused. Like people could be talking to me, but I'm focused on a lot of things that don't even make any sense. It's a waste of time and energy. It's very addicting. All right. So these are things that we were never taught in school, right? We learn a lot of math, we learn a lot of science and English, but never how to learn. I wish they would teach you how to learn, how to think critical, how to make good decisions, right? How to solve problems. These are better subjects. How to focus. How to concentrate, how to make good decisions, how to solve problems, focus and concentrate, how to read faster, how to remember more, retention and recall. These are things that we really need to learn, especially now in this world where everything is just, we get unfocused instantly. You know, Socrates says there is no learning without remembering. And just take that in. There's no learning without remembering. And so you know, you gotta have some retention. Focusing the first thing in the morning on your phone is rewiring you, and it's creating you to be reactive, right? And when we're doing this, I mean, come on, how many of you guys out there you've decreased your level of production, your level of productivity. You're being trained to be distracted, right? You can't even have a conversation with people now without your brain just clicking and going somewhere else, because we're so taught and to be on social media that we get distracted and lost. We can't pay attention to anything, because we just think about the next post and the next, response to somebody or the next like. You can't have a conversation anymore. You start your day with mindfulness, right? That's the first thing we should do. We got to put our phones away. Like, I'm going to start sleeping with my phone in another room. And the first thing I'm going to do is wake up and create mindfulness. Work on my mindfulness again. Work on, the decision-making machine that I have up here. Prayer first, meditation, and just focusing and just having mental exercises before I'm just responding. I got to learn how to fuel my mind again. And I know a lot of you guys must be feeling this. You got to learn how to fuel your mind again, how to be focused, how to be present. And you got to put your distractions away and put them back. Like work on your mind so that when you start going that way, you just boom, you can focus it back. You build that muscle. We have to do more things that make us creative and focus and improve our memory. How you doing, Mary Beth? It is true. We're so lost in just responding and reacting. We have to improve our memory. A process. There's a process to improving your memory. There's a process to focusing. There's a process to being creative. To create stuff. There's work on your self-awareness. Go into your mind, man. We're so focused on out there and going to Mars and everything, but the biggest, most amazing thing in the planet is your brain. And learning how to use that, learning how to be patient and peaceful and calm and not react to people, to respond, to think about what you're going to say. We don't even do that anymore because all we do is react to likes or who's liking me, who's not liking me. Stop going to Mars. Go inside of here to this. The most important thing is to be mental. We know what to do. But do we do what we know? Things have changed so much. It's a myth that knowledge is power. Knowledge is potential power. It can be potential power, but only if you apply it. You don't get points for going to the store or downloading a book and not reading it. Even reading it once. It just becomes self-help and not self-help. Right? We read we buy these self-help books, but we don't even study them. We put them on the shelf and they become shelf-help and not self-help. And that's what we need. We need to study things. We spend a lot of money going to training, like you go to conferences. I know people who have gone to conferences. I've even taken people to conferences, spent a lot of money, invested in them, and they like Tony Robbins, and they go and they never do anything with what they learn. They talk about it for a day or two, a week, 3, 4 weeks, a month, and later on, they stop applying all this stuff. It's just on the shelf. It's on the shelf. It's just the process of reading and not understanding and not meditating and not memorizing or not learning, or retaining or recalling. Retention, remembering. We don't practice any of these things. Because we wake up to a click, bing, and it wakes you up and you react, right? And we all know you get one bad text, you get one bad email, you get one bad voicemail, and your whole day is shot. You're done. because you've learned to react to the outside world instead of creating your own. And we talk about the learning curve, but we forgot about, there's also a forgetting curve. Do you know that if you read something once or you learn it once, and in 48 hours, 80% of it is gone? That's the forgetting curve. 80% in 48 hours is gone that you learn because you just learned it once. You don't study it. You don't retain it. You're not taught to, to keep it in your brain, to recall it, to retain it. 80% gone in 48 hours. So the first thing in the morning, don't touch your phone. Do not touch your phone. It's training you for two things. Number one, to be distracted. And number two, to be reactive. One bad or sad post and your day is done, guys. And you can never, ever, ever, ever be the best version of you when you're distracted, when you're reactive. You have to learn how to retain things, to remember, to study, to be mindful. Mindfulness should be the first thing that you do. You should create a muscle that you can actually come back. You can pull when your brain starts going in another way, because we're so trained to just focus nowhere, to unfocus and just respond and respond and respond and be living on our phones. We don't even eat anymore together. We just sit there and constantly talk. Leave your phone in your car. Go to the movies. You still take your phone. We don't have a life anymore. We're being controlled and manipulated by all of this stuff, and you need to stop, slow down. That's where I've been. I've been slowing down because I give so much. And when I come on here, it's just so negative and so brutal and so much hatred and so much pain and so much pushing and so much hating and just negativity. And you get drawn into it. You people who are kind and gentle get drawn into and turn into these evil people who I grew up with, I'm not talking to anymore because of all this sad evilness going on. And it's time for us to be mindful again. Leave your phone somewhere else. Stop being controlled and manipulated and reactive and distracted. TV is another one. It makes you actually focus on TV and you get lost in that. I love you guys out here, and I just want to share with you, man. This is where I've been. It's time. You can never be the best version of yourself living in reactive, being reactive and distracted. And that's what social media is doing to you. Do not wake up in the morning and the first thing is answer your Facebook or answer. Why don't you pray first? Or go meditate, or just talk to your significant other in bed. And one of the things that I want to do is so that, I'm going to start writing down 3 things for me to do personally, 3 things for me to do business in the morning. And before I even pick up my phone, I'm going to do one of those things. How you doing, Andrea? I miss you too. And I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to be back with this topic. It's just a great topic, how we get distracted, how we're focusing on just social media. And the funny thing is that it's called social media. It's so unsocial. It is so unsocial, right? And again, man, you can't just read something one day. I know that a lot of us know what to do, but do we do what we know? We don't. It's a myth, again, that knowledge is power. Knowledge has the potential to be power, but only if we apply it. We don't get points for buying books and reading them one time and just putting them on the shelf. That's shelf help instead of self-help. You got to study. You got to retain it. You got to learn how to, and that comes with mindfulness in the morning, training your brain and your muscle to focus on what you need and want. And again, that list, 3 things that I want to accomplish tomorrow. I'm going to write them down before I go to sleep. And 3 things that I want to accomplish for myself and for my business. And I'm going to accomplish at least one thing before I pick up my phone. And I implore you to do the same. I love you out there. It's so glad to be back and talking to you guys. I will be showing up again. I don't know whether I probably won't do the morning because I want to maybe end my day doing some stuff like this based on what I've learned and what I've helped other people do. I love you out there. Have a beautiful day. Say, make the glide, always say it, man. No matter what's going on in your life, it's going to be all right. Peace out.